Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Pause the video right now to check out my social media, my radio show, and thatdrummerguy.com. And most of all, enjoy the following presentation.
Josh, this is Anneke.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome. Well, I could be sitting here gushing about all the work that you've done throughout your entire career, but I'm going to stick right now with the brand new band Ver, whose brand new album, In This Moment, We Are Free, Cities, which is coming out in October. And I'm so excited to be able to talk about this project. I did see the seeds of the band starting last year at Prog Power USA with that lineup, and it was so cool to see. And it's awesome to see a full album coming out of it.
Thank you, yeah, I'm stoked too.
So, with that, and for people who may not be familiar, how did this whole band come together?
Actually, just like you said, you know, when we were working with, when I was working with Arjen Lucassen on The Gentle Storm, we needed a band to put this on the road, you know, the album, and Arjen doesn't tour, but he said, okay, I'll help you put a band together. And it's kind of in a hurry. We threw a band together just for the sake of let's do 1 year of touring, and then we have this record on the road, and that's it. And then halfway, you know, the tour, I start realizing, like, holy shit, we have such a kick-ass band here. And I wanted to make a new solo album, and Arjen was going to make a new Arjen album after The Gentle Storm. And then I thought, I'm not going to let them go, you know, so I asked everybody, like, will you join me in my new solo album? I'm going to name it, I'm going to give it a name for once and for all. It's going to be very serious, and they all said yes. And here we are.
Oh, it's so cool to see that something that could come together so quickly could turn out to be such an incredible project.
Yeah, because you know what, if I would think, okay, I want to make a heavy album, I need heavy players, you know, metal players, I want to be very serious about it, and then let's go find like a super, like it's all-star band, really. And then you wouldn't, it's, you know, that's really difficult. We had to find also a new guitar player for Vuur, and it was so hard, you know, because there's not a lot of people who have like everything that you need, like charisma, but also well playing, also being a nice guy, also look good, also, you know, living kind of in the same area, or in Holland at least. And yeah, so that, you know, it was kind of a miracle, I would say.
Yeah, very much so. And, you know, again, you know, just from the fan perspective of being able to see that play out during Prog Power USA last year, and then you making the announcement that it was going to become a full-fledged band, and it was, you had the aspirations to be touring and making a new album and everything. I just got so excited because I loved what you guys did with the interpretations of The Gentle Storm and the Arjen songs that were performed live. So it was so cool to see some original music that's going to be coming out of that.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Oh, not a problem. So when you were putting this album together, where did you want to go with the lyrical content?
Well, actually, you know, epic music needs epic lyrics, right? And I wanted to, for a long time, I wanted to have this, you know, make this concept album about cities. And I thought it was just going to be perfect if I make a heavy album. That sound would fit so much with this concept. And you know, I talk about big, huge, you know, epic cities, and lyrically they you know, every lyric has a story on its own, and the lyrics have to be, you know, when I started writing, they have to be poetic and you know, because you have the danger if you talk about a city that it becomes a history lesson, right? So, and it's too earthy. It had to be, you know, eclectic and everything.
Yeah, and that's what I really appreciate about it. I mean, it feels like such a great concept, and every song feels like it has its own feel to match the city, and I think you did an amazing job with that.
Thanks.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I mean, of course, a couple songs have been released so far for London and for Berlin. What has been the reception to those songs so far?
Yeah, very good. In fact, it's I'm happy because nobody knew what I was up to when I said I'm writing a heavy album. So a lot of people would think it's more in the veins of Gentle Storm. A lot of people would say it's going back to the Gathering. A lot of people had initially everybody had their own feeling about it. And then I came with this, and people are surprised, but they are happily surprised. So that makes me happy, of course, because it's a different sound, And I said all along I wanted it to have a guitar-oriented album. And some people think I would go into more operatic or orchestral direction, but I wanted to make a tough, heavy album, which has also many beautiful elements in it.
Yeah, and again, I think you really were able to pull that off great. I mean, throughout your entire career, you've been able to show off such diversity with all the different musical projects that you've been a part of. So knowing that you wanted to go more into a heavier, more electric guitar-driven style, I mean, it's definitely something that was pulled off great, and it just has this great epic feel to it. And it's great to see the reception that it is getting for it, because it's absolutely deserved.
Oh, thanks. I'm thrilled. It's, I worked hard on it, but also I took a year off of touring because of this. I thought, I know secretly people are waiting for a heavy album, and I thought, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it really well. I shouldn't mess about, and I didn't. It's all from the heart, and it's all honest, and the guys in the band are all honest and hardworking and focused. So yeah, I'm happy that comes across,
Yeah, definitely. And it's great to hear the final product when it comes to that too, because, when I was picturing it in my head, I didn't know exactly what kind of style it was going to be going in, but once I got the promo a few weeks back and I was really able to divulge into everything that's going on, I mean, I love the prog landscapes that's going on there, the great heavy guitar riffing, your vocal melodies matched with the rest of the band. I mean, everything feels like it's on fire.
Oh, wow. Super. I'm so happy you like it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And along with that, it's awesome to see that you're going to be coming back to America for Prog Power next year.
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah. You know how it is when people from, bands from Europe touring in the US is hard. It's a logistical and financial challenge. And Prog Power, they have faith in me and in us, and I know we sent him, or my management sent him, 30 seconds of a song that we wanted to tease on the internet, and he says, that's enough for me. You are welcome next year on Prog Power. And that made me so happy, because he has all the faith in me, and it's such a great festival. I hope from there we can do some other stuff, around when we are in the neighborhood. But we're always trying to come back for sure to the US.
Yeah, and that makes me so happy to hear. I mean, when I went to Prog Power last year, it was amazing being able to see you twice. I mean, once with the Gathering Storm, and then also you performing with Devin, which is one of my highlights ever, biggest highlights ever, was seeing you with Devin. So, the fact that you are able to get this North American touring again, even if it's just one-off appearances or a mini tour next year, or whatever the case is, it's great to see that North America is getting your reach again.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's the audience, it's widespread, you see, but it's everywhere we go. Also there, it's people are so into this genre and in the band and in whatever I do. Yeah, it feels great, Absolutely.
And with that, I mean, with having such a strong following, I mean, does that feel like that there's any pressure on your end to live up to everyone's expectations, or are you able to just be able to be yourself?
I think so. I think, in fact, if I am myself and if I'm honest and hardworking, and if I make sense, then people will respect that. You can't fool an audience, is what I'm saying. And so if if the in the 80s there was like big productions and stuff that was hold on please.
Oh, sure thing.
Is er iets? Oké. Nee, dat niet. Ik ben gewoon even aan het kletsen. Ja, zeker. Ja. Sorry.
Oh, not a problem.
Thanks. So so I think that's the key to people's hearts, because in this scene, in prog and metal scene, it's very, very important that you're honest about your music, and that's when it comes across. And otherwise, if you're fake or if you're lazy, then they drop you, really. And I liked it, I like working hard, and I love singing, I love music, so I only feel the pressure is to do a good job. And sometimes you do your best, and an artist is usually doubting him or herself always. So I'm always doubting, like, did I do well? Or when I did a gig, did I do well? Was it good enough? I can do better tomorrow. That's always on my mind,
And with that, I mean, that's obviously a great way to go about things. I mean, obviously you always want to improve, and you always want to make sure that you're at the top of your game. So when a musician does doubt themselves, they're just looking for a way to improve rather than feeling like they're always at the top of their game, but just like looking for ways to get better and better. So when it comes to Ver, how did that happen for you? I mean, was there any moments like that in particular?
Actually, it felt really good because of things coming together so well with the band and my idea and the concept. And then we have Joost van den Broek, who is producing and who wrote all the songs with. And I could talk to him so freely about everything, and he understood me, and he knew exactly how to turn my ideas into sounds and music. So overall, I had this feeling that was very positive and that things were rolling. But like I said, me as an artist, I think a lot of people do. I'm always thinking, can I be better? Can I be better? Can I sing better? I have to do something differently to be better, or to make to take more out of it? But in the end, you have to kind of trust your gut feeling, like, no, we're on a roll, this is going to be good, and you need people around you who tell you the truth. It's who are down to earth and who will not only say yes wherever you do. So that's important too.
And with that in mind, was there like any particular moments that the rest of the band came up with an idea for Viewer that you hadn't originally thought of that made the band better?
I would say in that respect, because Joost and me, we wrote kind of in general all the songs, and then when we put the demos together, then it's up to the band. However, the two guitar players came up with songs too, but we kind of made it as a whole, and then the band comes in to rehearse it and to record it, and then all the songs, they got such a kick in the ass, they just were so much better after they had rehearsed and played them and recorded them, because then all the characters of the band you can hear in the songs. So the melodic fingerprints of the guitar players, and of course Ed Warby's drums. You write a song and you think, okay, Ed can play something like this here, and we know he can play a fill like this there. And then when he actually does it, it's like 10 times as badass as you would, imagine it. So in that respect, that was like a point that the songs really, really came to life when the band members started playing it.
Yeah, I very much agree with that. And I can definitely say from the drumming aspect, being a drummer myself, Ed is one of my favorite drummers of all time. I mean, with all the different projects he's been a part of, whether it was Arion or Gorefest or now with Vera, I mean, it's so great to see everything that he's capable of. And he just plays with so much power and aggression on this album. It's so cool to see.
Yeah. Ah, nice, thanks. He's a living legend. I'm so happy he's in the band,
Yeah, I mean, and I think that goes for the entire band as well. I mean, you, of course, being a living legend, and, just the entire band that you're a part of. I mean, it's great to see this culmination of minds coming together and just making such amazing music.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's absolutely true that we have an all-star band, and it's fantastic to play with them because they have a lot of experience, not only in playing music as is, but also in touring and touring live, and and they're nice guys as well. So because you sit in an airplane longer than you're on stage together, right? So you have to get along. Music should be fun and enjoyable, and that's what this is.
Yeah, and that's another aspect a lot of people outside of music never really think about is the 23 hours that you're not on stage together, whether you're in a van or in a bus or on an airplane, just like making sure that everyone gets along together in a band, because if you're not getting along off the stage, it's going to make things really hard on the stage.
Yeah, totally. And you always hear about these bands that are really big and there's a lot of money involved, and then they don't speak to each other for a year, and when they tour for a year. And that would mean for me, I would be so unhappy, So you kind of search for band members that not only can play or be good on stage, but are just nice people to be around.
Yeah, and that also helps when they are able to bring their aspects of playing together. I mean, whether it's the live show or writing songs or recording the songs, just like when you have everything together like that. I imagine that the next album, even though I'm sure that's a way off in the distance to think about, but I'm sure with the next album that things are just going to grow even more and more together.
I think so too, yeah. Because also with the Gentle Storm, some of them played on the album, but there was not like a band concept because it was just me and Arjen, and the band just came in and out and played. This time we were, they rehearsed the songs, and then we all get into the studio and play the songs together, and then we fill in, the gaps and everything. But it was way more together than Gentle Storm period. So, like you said, I hope, with the same people we can grow and we can make even more beautiful things and be more of a collective even, because now it's just me and my ideas, but the band is certainly a very important aspect, to make this so as good as it is,
And speaking of that, when it comes to the live shows, are you just going to be focusing on the new album, or are you going to be playing anything from the past, or have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, we're busy putting together live shows, and we will definitely play some old good stuff. Obviously, the new album is going to be focal point, but we always play Gentle Storm, some Devin, some Gathering. So but it was going to be a heavy set, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's so cool to see that. I mean, even though the new album is so phenomenal, and I know it's going to be one of my favorite albums at the end of the year, it's great to see that you guys were able to incorporate all of these past projects and everything that you've been a part of, and be able to get some representation for that as well.
Yeah, totally. I'm sorry, I'm eating. I'm okay. But absolutely, it's also this kind of band that we have now together. They can play the songs of Devin, for instance, so well. You need metal players to experienced metal players to pull that off. So yeah, I can pick and choose from lots of songs that I wrote or collaborated on, and we can make a wonderful set list all together.
And since you did bring him up, and I probably have about like 4 or 5 hours worth of questions I could ask about you working with Devin, but what does it feel like to have been able to work with Devin all of this time?
Well, Devin is one of maybe two people, I think, together with Arjen Lucas, who inspired me so much, and I learned a lot from. So singing with Devin is one of the best singers, let alone songwriting, let alone producing, performing, playing guitar, one of the best singers in our genre. And to hear him sing live, to hear him even warm up his voice, man, it's spectacular. In that respect, I look up to him so much. I learn from him. I ask him a bunch of questions every time I see him. I learn also a lot about being a performer, but also about life. We have long talks about music, about life. So he's a big, huge inspiration for me, and in my life and in music.
And with that, I mean, I remember at Proc Power, not only were you singing songs that you were recorded with Devin, but you also came out for some songs that you weren't originally a part of. What are the songs from Devin that you enjoy that you weren't a part of?
You know what? I love this song "Bad Devil," and it's a fun song, and you can really sing loud and have a laugh at the same time, you know. And this is a song I wasn't part of, and he got me to sing live a couple of times. I love that one.
Yeah, that's an absolutely great, fun song, and yeah, I mean, hearing you sing it live, I mean, it was a really cool experience to be able to see that, and just like everyone's so happy on stage, and that's something I also really appreciate about what you do, is that you always look so happy on stage. You look so happy to be on there performing in front of people, playing this music. I mean, it's so cool to see.
Yeah, thanks. I enjoy it so thoroughly. I enjoy singing. You know, I sing in the car when I'm alone. I love singing. And, you know, it makes me happy to be able to do that for a living. And not only that, you know, I sing with the most amazing people that I love so much. And that's the thing, you know, I wish everybody have a profession where they can, you know, express themselves just as they are, because that's exactly what I'm doing. And I think that's what makes me happy, you know, to be free in my profession and what I do all day, you know.
Yeah, and that's totally what I'm doing right here. I mean, with my profession, being able to show off the musicians that I love and care about, because I want them to have all the same admiration that I have while doing the interview. You know, just like having people that may not be familiar with this musician, or ones that may have been lost on the radar, or ones that are just as popular as ever. You know, just like making sure everyone gets that same amount of love and respect, and show them off to the best of my abilities. And that's why I'm so happy to be able to do this here with Vera.
Right. That's awesome, and that's why we're having a good conversation, right? And that's so cool, because you are one of those journalists who are very into this music. You know everything, and you know what you're talking about, and they make the best interviews. Because actually, we're having a conversation, more than 10 questions. You know, it's for us as a artist. Also, the best thing is just to talk about music, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I can say from my end, like, I have nothing written down. I mean, the only thing I had was just making sure I had the correct release dates of the 20th of October.
Yeah.
But otherwise, everything is just off the top of my head. Just being a fan, just like trying to get that musician mindset. You know, just everything that goes into the music. You know, it's just like I'm much more of a fan of that, and then rather than asking these static questions that I don't really care about your answer to, and just waiting for you to finish talking so you can say the next thing. Like, I really care about what you have to say, and anyone that I talk to.
Wonderful. That's really, because, you know, you're the link between us and the people, you know?
Yeah, and that's why I take that with so much heart to be able to show these off. I mean, like, I have a very eclectic taste when it comes to rock and metal, so when I am able to show off the ones I especially really care about, like with Vera here, you know, it's just like, it's so cool to be able to show everything off in the right light, because I love this album, I love your voice, and I want everyone to be able to go out and check this out, because it is something that deserves to be heard.
Wow, thank you so much. That's fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. So, with that, I mean, obviously there's a lot of press that you're going through and a lot of promotion for the new album. What's next after that?
Well, the next step is the promo stuff continues, which I'm actually extremely happy about, because a lot of people want to know about it, so that's great. And we are getting ready and geared up for touring. It still is a few weeks away, the release and the touring, but still we have to put together a whole live show with all the new songs and everything. So we're working on that, and then from end of October on we will be touring. We start touring through Europe together with Epica. Very cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's such a great dynamic too, because, you know, it's like Epica doesn't sound like Vera and vice versa, but it really fits together well for a good night of metal.
I think so, and also, like you said, we are so different, and we have an overlapping crowd. But Epica they're a fantastic band, and they're big. So for us, it's also lovely to win over some new hearts, you know. So, and we'll be direct support, so we have a little bit of a longer time to play, so we can really, really showcase new album, you know. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and that is so cool to be able to get like a tour like that for like a good first proper tour for a brand new album and brand new band. I mean, when you got someone like Epica that's wanting to support you with giving you such a great direct spot, I mean, it's like I'm sure it's going to be winning over a lot of people that may not already be familiar.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we can. It's just a matter of being visible. That's just it, you know.
Oh, very much so. And with that, I mean, are you focusing like 100% of your direction with Vera, or is there any other projects coming down the pipeline?
Not really. I'm doing some things here and there in Holland, some solo acoustic things, just to keep playing, just to do that, which I love to do as well. But no big plans, because I really truly want to focus on Vuur and get this show on the road, literally. And so we'll see what comes next. I'm already writing new songs for the next Vuur album. I had some ideas. It's just minimal, of course, because we're focusing on live and the album release. But still, you know, I have a lot of inspirations for a new album, and maybe I'm thinking about Cities Part 2, because there's a lot of cities that I still want to write about. So I'm already thinking about that.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I mean, even though the album is coming out in October, it's great to see that the inspiration is there right now for the next album as well. I mean, when you got that inspiration going, I mean, it's good to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I think so. Even it's just, I do rough things on the computer, just some drumming, some singing, some melodies, and it's there, right? It's out of my system, but we're gonna write soon. I think Joost and me are gonna write, and the guitar players and me are gonna write some new stuff. Especially when we're on tour, I can write on tour a lot. So we'll continue.